We take the breath of life for granted, rarely considering the subtle chemical bond that holds our skies, our cities, and our bodies together. Every second of our existence depends on oxygen, a transparent gas that makes up roughly 21% of the air we breathe. Now imagine a theoretical cosmic anomaly, a single moment where every molecule of oxygen gas across the globe vanishes for exactly 5 seconds. 5 seconds sounds mercifully brief, barely long enough to take a single restful breath or blink your eyes. If you're standing outside when the clock begins to tick, your instinct might be to panic about suffocating. Yet biological suffocation is actually the least of your immediate concerns during those 5 short seconds. Human lungs easily hold enough reserve air to sustain consciousness through a 5-second interval without permanent tissue damage. The oxygen stored in your bloodstream would keep your brain fully functioning long enough for the gas to return. The true devastation would begin not inside our lungs, but in the environment surrounding us. In the very first instant, the familiar bright blue sky would instantly darken into a twilight black. Oxygen molecules in our air scatter sunlight, a process known as Rayleigh scattering that gives our daytime atmosphere its signature blue hue. Without oxygen particles to scatter those light waves, the daylight sky would lose its brilliance, leaving only a stark, dark canopy. Simultaneously, a physical shockwave would ripple through the inner ears of every human being on the planet. Because oxygen makes up roughly 21% of air volume, its sudden removal causes atmospheric pressure to drop immediately by 21%. That sudden drop in pressure is equivalent to instantly teleporting from sea level to an altitude of nearly 2,000 meters. Eardrums across the globe would violently bulge and pop, inflicting sudden discomfort and disorienting billions of people in an instant. At the exact same moment, every internal combustion engine across the planet would abruptly stall. Fire requires oxygen to sustain its chemical reaction, so every spark, candle, and factory burner would be instantly extinguished. Millions of motor vehicles on highways would lose power simultaneously, coasting on momentum without active steering or braking assist. In the sky, commercial jetliners carrying thousands of passengers would experience sudden engine flameouts across all turbines. High-altitude aircraft would not immediately crash, but the sudden engine loss would send shockwaves of alarm through flight decks worldwide. Meanwhile, high above our heads, the protective ozone layer, which is composed entirely of oxygen atoms, would temporarily dissolve. Without the ozone shield, raw ultraviolet radiation from the sun would bombard the surface unimpeded for those 5 seconds. While 5 seconds is too brief to cause severe radiation burns, the unfiltered solar energy would register as a sudden wave of intense warmth. Yet all these atmospheric disturbances depend entirely on how we define the vanishing of oxygen. If only the free oxygen gas in our atmosphere vanishes, humanity experiences 5 seconds of chaos, followed by a slow recovery. Once the 5 seconds elapse, oxygen gas would return to the air, engines could be restarted, and lungs would refill naturally. The economic damage from crashes and engine stalls would be immense, but the planet itself would endure. However, a far more terrifying nightmare unfolds if oxygen vanishes from all matter across the globe. Oxygen is not merely a gas floating in our air. It is a vital chemical component binding solids together. Concrete, the foundational building material of human civilization, relies heavily on oxygen compounds to hold its matrix together. If oxygen atoms disappear from solid matter, concrete loses its binding agent and turns instantly into fine, unstable dust. Every dam, skyscraper, highway overpass, and foundation built from concrete would lose structural integrity in a fraction of a second. Surfaces would shear apart instantly, causing cities to collapse into massive clouds of pulverized powder. Untreated metals would also suffer, as natural protective oxide coatings disappear and cause raw metal surfaces to spontaneously weld together on contact. Even the ground beneath our feet is composed of roughly 45% oxygen within the compounds of Earth's crust. If elemental oxygen vanished from rock, the ground beneath us would crumble into free-falling debris. Water presents an even more absolute catastrophe, as every molecule of water consists of 2 hydrogen atoms bonded to 1 oxygen atom. Without oxygen, the world's oceans, rivers, and lakes would instantly convert into pure hydrogen gas. Hydrogen gas, being extremely light, would expand rapidly and ascend into the upper atmosphere, escaping into space. Because the human body is roughly 60% water, living cells would instantly rupture as water molecules disassembled. In that atomic scenario, 5 seconds is not a temporary inconvenience. It is an absolute extinction event for all life on Earth. When oxygen returned 5 seconds later, there would be no oceans, no cities, and no living organisms left to breathe it. This profound contrast reveals how delicately balanced our planet truly is, resting entirely on unseen chemical bonds. Whether a brief atmospheric shock or a total cosmic unraveling, 5 seconds without oxygen proves that our existence is held together by fragile threads. Which of these unexpected consequences of losing oxygen surprised you the most? The immediate dark sky or the structural collapse of concrete? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe for more deep explorations into the hidden forces of our world.